darkened theater, waiting for a show to begin, I pray. Please, God, let it be a good show. And keep it short, oh good Lord in heaven. Please. 2 hours is fine. 3 hours is way too much. And for God's sake, keep the actors out of the audience. God did not pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a good story, and I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, it used to be, sitting there in the dark, you used to ask yourself, what have George and Ira Gershwin got for us tonight? Or, can Cole Porter pull it off again? Can you imagine? Now, instead it's, please, Elton John, must we continue this charade? It used to be, sitting there in the dark, you knew that you would be taken to another world, a world full of color and music and glamour, and you thought to yourself, my God, when are they going to turn on the lights? Oh, my, how things have changed. Hello. How are you tonight? I'm feeling a little blue myself. You know, a little anxious for no particular reason. A little sad that I should be feeling anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in a non-specific state of sadness. A state I call blue. Anyway, so whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So, I was going through my records this morning. Yes, records. And I was just about to put on Meredith Wilson's The Music Man. Had a craving for young Ronnie Howard. But then I said no. I said, let's have a treat. Let's go back in time to the decadent world of the 1920s, where the champagne flowed while the caviar chilled and all the world was a party. For the wealthy. Anyway, so I dug about, and what did I find but one of my favorite shows, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Cindy Stein. It's the two-record set with the original Broadway recording made in 1928. The full show with the original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell's The Chaperone. Oh my God, isn't she elegant? And this is a full 15 years before she becomes Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Well, let me read to you what it says on the back. It says, mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Yeah, woo! Unfortunately, this is not about a gay wedding, and the term gay wedding has a different meaning now than it did back then. But back then, it just meant fun. And that's what the show is. Fun. So, would you indulge me?
Yes.
Would you let me play the right? Yeah! I was really hoping you would say yes. Hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. All right, now, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, it's November 1928. You're standing on the steps of the Rochester Theater in New York. It's very cold. Remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November's the new August now. Global warming, we're all doomed. Anyway, so you're standing on the steps of the Rochester Theater in New York, and heavy sleet is falling from the sky. You don't care, because you're going to see a Broadway show.
radiant, Mrs. Tarpendale.
Oh, I do love this dress so. It never goes out of style.
It's a miracle, madam.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, your dress, your fancy dress. 'Twas such a pleasure airing it, restitching and repairing it. God bless your dress, it's one fine dress. And I will tell you why you've put it on. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Madam, for the hostess and it's happy wedding time. Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will die. Wedding bells will ding, ring and we will ding along.
Your dress, your fancy dress. Very, very glad you put it on.
Wedding guests have come,
Wedding guests are here.
wedding guests are at the door and soon they
won't be that hard to follow. So, we begin with a welcome from the love-struck room.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to thank you all for coming. I tell you, I must be some lucky fella. Who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career for me, Robert Martin. Now, if it weren't for Prohibition, I'd say let's raise a glass to Miss Janet Van de Graaff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
The groom mustn't see his bride on the wedding day. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot. Basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room. Say, isn't it a little early to be drinking?
I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
Look, you keep track of Janet. You're the chaperone. That's your only job.
I'm on Capitan! Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm your little monkey!
So the bride and groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B plot, which involves the producer.
Mr. Feldzig!
Getting married in living show business.
Mr. Feldzig!
Doesn't she know I got obligations?
Mr. Feldzig, I could be your leading lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, last time, you ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet.
Yeah, I'm pretty good too. Last week, I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
A little annotation. Katie and Feldzig were a couple in real life. Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comic construct. A stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, she appears stupid, but in the end she does something clever and makes everyone wonder whether it was all just an act. The irony here, though, is that Sadie was actually quite stupid. Jack had to explain all the jokes to her, apparently. Still, she had a wonderful career on the stage. That time, the stage was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
A petite four, Mr. Feldzig.
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole.
Boys, not hungry.
Maybe we can give him something else to chew on.
Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Though we stand before you in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also
And primarily,
employees of a certain individual,
A certain individual?
a certain individual,
who happens to be the largest single investor in Feldzig's Follies, and he has sent us here
as pastry chefs.
to express his concerns about Miss Van de Graaff's impending nuptials.
Specifically,
That if she gets married and leaves the show,
then there ain't no show.
Say, don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
Have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I do have a cousin in Seattle.
Kitty, boys, tell your boss this wedding is never gonna happen. You got my word.
Oh, we'll take your word on that.
But to go back on that word would be a recipe for disaster. Now, we hope we've made ourselves perfectly eclair.
One can only hope.
You biscots, you'd be kidding me.
A trifle much?
Don't talk with me.
All right. Drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, we ganache.
We're on the lamb.
Lamb's an entree, you macaroon.
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tall Brothers, John and Peter Tall. They were born Abraham and Mendel Miloskowitz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a very sarcastic immigration official. They were the typical example of the stereotypical Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements. Not very intimidating. Unless you find dancers intimidating, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to this situation.
Well, we'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Feltzig. In the meantime, feel free to browse the Desoit carousel.
Try the Toledo Surprise.
It's to die for.
Holy cats! Mr. Feltzig, they're gangsters!
Very perceptive. Now, go powder your face. Gotta stop this wedding. But how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a touch overplayed. Anyway, with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the all-bright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adored every tube. Albright was hugely popular in the 1920s, specifically because it contained cocaine. What? It's true. If you looked at the ingredient list, it was the fifth one down, right next to sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now don't you worry, it's perfectly normal for a groom to feel nervous on his wedding day. Oh, is it? Of course!
God, I love Percy Hyman. No, some people say he was a bad actor. But to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them afraid cats do. Something may be bothering you. I know just what it is. Cold feet, brother, you got cold feet. You can make them cold feet. With the little rhythm, young feet, old feet, can be uncontrolled feet. Rhythm make them cold feet. Down the aisle, cross the arches, they can learn to swing. Icy toes can jive when arches played in ragtime swing. Make frigid souls come alive and take the dive. Cold feet, turn them into bald feet. Really make them cold feet. Hot.
You don't say! Well, why don't you slide back to your muscle, you backstabbing worm? Well, now I'm finding you, minister. Say, what are you up to?
I'm singing the song an old friend taught me. A little remedy for wedding day jitters.
You think you've got the jitters? You've got the easy part. I've still got to get the rice, the boutonniere, and the minister. I've got the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
It sounds like you've got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Bald feet.
What do I do? Cold feet.
Whoa! Big cold feet out. George, you're doing it. You're
still alive, you know. Saw him on the news recently, celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years had taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. He had that pained look of confusion that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that says, "Oh, yeah, oh, my eyes is cake on fire." You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's enough of that. Tap dancing around like a fool.
I'm sorry, George. I'm just so nervous. It is my wedding day, after all.
Well, cut a snapped an ankle. Tap dancing is too dangerous. Here, why don't you go out for a skate instead? That's what I like to do when I need to blow off some steam.
George, you think of everything!
Just looking out for you, my boy. Wait, you can't go out like that. No, what was I thinking? You might see Janet. Here, put on this blindfold.
George, what would I do without you?
Hold that up. There you go. All set.
Whoa!
All right. Now, no seeing Janet.
Whoa!
And no more tap dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore it. It does this occasionally. It rings. It'll stop soon. Just ignore it. What? What do you want?
Hello? Hi. This is my answering machine. Please leave a name and a message, and I'll get back to you at my convenience.
Well, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, life. My God, it's like a cell phone going off in a theater. Hi, what are you doing? Oh, I'm at the theater, ruining the moment. How about you? Well, I just couldn't get out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. I'm sorry. Let's just take that off. Let's just go back in our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928. Although I'm sure that they had something for the ruining of moments. Bugles or something.
Happy wedding time.
The bride, the glamorous Janet Vandergraff, entertaining questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandergraff, is it true you're giving up a successful career to marry a man you barely know?
Yes, Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Ile de France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned, briefly, and then he proposed.
So, you won't be returning to the stage ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Can we quote you on that?
Of course. One more question?
I have a question.
Yes?
Why would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I've got a question for you. How can you give up the footlights you know very well have got grease paint in your veins?
Victor, please.
Oh, Janet, I'm begging you. Dump the mug. Stay with the follies. I'll give you anything you want. Oh, fine. I'll put your name above mine on the marquee.
Oh, Victor, if you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more.
desire to continue her life on the stage.
Can't you see it's killing her soul?
Don't worry, boys. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do an encore.
I don't wanna
She was the oops girl. Remember? Surely you remember the oops girl. Don't you people read? She was the girl who was billed with such great sexual energy that it caused the men around her to have accidents. Spill their drinks, drive their cars into trees, and she would go, oops. Okay, well, I'm not really doing it justice, but people ate it up. She made a whole series of films. Oops, the Oops Girl, Oops Girl Come Home, and Oops Girl at Sea. Which, by the way, won an Oscar for special effects.
Okay. Begging and groveling didn't work. On to plan B. For that, I'm going to need an accomplice. Someone gullible, with loose morals. We need a, what do you call them? European? La 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 la.
In walks Aldalfo, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldalfo was played by former silent film stars and world-class alcoholic, Roman Martelli. He was the one who later drank himself to death at his chateau in Nice. Remember? It was 5 days before they found the body, and by that time it had been partially consumed by his poodles. Okay, it had only been partially consumed.
Excuse me, sir. I don't believe we've met.
I am Aldalfo!
You are Aldalfo.
Yes, I am Aldalfo!
Not the Aldalfo.
Yes, I am Aldalfo!
Funny. You don't look like a scoundrel.
Yes, What?
Why, just now, I heard the groom say that Aldalfo is a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
What? Aldalfo is scoundrel?
Those very words.
Aldalfo is a scoundrel!
Like I'm hearing it again.
This is outrageous. He is saying this to people, to beautiful ladies with breasts for making love. I must.
You must take matters in your own hands.
Yes, I must take this groom into my hands and kill him.
Yes. No, don't kill him. Just hurt him enough so that he can't get married.
Show me to this groom. Wait!
What?
What kind of man is this groom? Is he a big man?
Well,
A burly man?
pick up the outside.
No. Aldalfo will not fight big men. A small, pale, busy, little people Aldalfo can punt away.
No big deal. No. So, you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Aldalfo's the lover of beautiful ladies. Some have called me the king of romance.
Well, you know what they say? The best way to get back at a man is through his
Door!
No. The best way to get back at a man is through his
Window!
No. It's revenge. Back at a man is through his
There are no other ways. I am not Santa Claus who come down the chimney.
his woman.
His woman!
Yes, Aldalfo, you must seduce his woman.
His woman!
His bride.
Yes, Aldalfo will make love to the bride. That will show people Aldalfo is no scoundrel. Show me to his bride. Wait!
What?
What kind of woman is this bride? Is she a big woman? A burly woman?
No, she's the cat's pajamas. Pajamas? She's a looker, an attractive one. Show me to this cat in pajamas. I'll mouthful make her purr. Stop it. Like a cat in pajamas, eh?
Chewing the scenery. Couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, could you? No. Mature, contemporary audiences are too sophisticated to enjoy broad stereotypes such as those, so we've banished them to Disney. Let the children sort it out.
Yes, madam?
The pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide us liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we have to be discreet.
Yes, madam?
It is prohibition, after all.
I am aware of that, madam.
We'll have to use code words! For instance, if someone asks for a glass of ice water, it really means they want a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madam.
Are you sure? Maybe you should write it down.
I understand, madam. A glass of ice water is a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water?
Vodka.
Iced?
Vodka.
Well, that's settled then. One less thing to do. Underling, would I please have some ice water? I found our meeting with the pastry chefs rather trying, and I would enjoy some refreshing ice water.
Of course, your ice water, madam?
Thank you. That was pure vodka, you poop!
I hate this scene. Now, I'm going to stop it here because, well, you can't really hear it on the recording, and it is a very old recording, but you can see where this is going, can't you? It's all just a series of spit takes. She's thirsty and asks for a glass of ice water. He pours her a glass of ice water. She takes it, she drinks it. And then they do it again and again and again, which no one needs to hear, so I'm going to skip ahead.
Well, where do you think you're going?
To fetch myself some lime juice.
Lime juice, for heaven's sake, why?
I'm going to wring out my eyebrows and to make myself a gimlet.
Now, you're probably wondering, what was that routine doing in the show? Well, it's very simple. There's a big scene coming up and they needed something to allow for the set change. It's mechanics. Much like adult films. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. In adult films, the story is simplistic. How do I pay for this pizza? Being a prime example. Anyway, the story exists only to connect the longer, more engaging production numbers, or reproduction numbers, if you will. What? Okay, well, what kind of a society do we live in if we cannot compare the similarities between adult films and musical theater?
Oh, in just a few hours I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad whirlwind.
Now, this is a really interesting scene. This is the only scene in the entire show that Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone, together, on stage. Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was already well-established and a force to contend with.
Well, I'm so full of apprehension, but I suppose that's normal considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, chaperone?
No, goodness, no. I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Excuse me, madam, your ice water? I'm afraid we're fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, Underling?
Oh, goodness, no. If I am to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
Oh, you too? I know it seems crazy to give up such a successful career to marry a man I barely know, but for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, gee, I get all woozy. And that's love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The wooziness can be caused by any number of things. I mean, I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Now, Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rousing anthems. She entertained and inspired troops in every major world conflict, up to and including the Falklands War. Of course, by that time, she was well into her late 80s, and her anthems didn't so much rouse as they did stupefy. Still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be played in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't appropriate. But you just couldn't say no to her. And that is star power.
Really, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but if you...
As we stumble along through life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right nor right from wrong. But as long as we can hear that little bluebird, there'll be a song as we stumble along.
That was quite nice, Chaperone, but I don't see how this pertains to my situation.
Let me explain.
No, that's not really
It's
necessary.
a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica. Oh, please.
Antarctica, oh please.
Still, you mustn't let it lick ya. This planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave, My dear, that's something you'll have to figure out by yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you ask him? Why don't you go up to him and say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert, and I'm not supposed to see him. In fact, you're supposed to be keeping me away from him.
You're absolutely right. And that's a responsibility I take very seriously. However, at the moment, I'm feeling just the tiniest bit drowsy. I'm afraid I'm going to have to have a little lie down. Now, whatever you do, don't go through the gardens looking for your fiancé to ask him the very question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just need to know if he loves me.
Such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. Oh, when will love come knocking on my door?
Look, it's Aldalfo, come to seduce the bride.
I am Aldalfo!
Try not to think of the poodles while you're listening to this part.
I am Aldalfo, and you are the bride.
No, I am not.
What? This is the bridal suite. You are the only one here, therefore you must be bride.
Interesting observation, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Need no bride. Look, perhaps I can take a message.
Yes. A dear Vandegraff bride, I must make love to you and transport you to a place of ecstasy. Sooner is better. Signed Aldalfo, the king of romance.
Well, you saw through my little ruse. You found me out.
So you are the bride.
Apparently, yes. Take me, Aldalfo.
No. Not Aldalfo. Aldalfo. You must get the name right, for when you're making love and you're screaming, you must say the right name, or it will spoil everything. How can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Aldalfo. The ladies man who wins the claim Aldalfo. Lovely miss, I am the same Aldalfo. I introduce myself. I am Aldalfo.
Nice to meet you, shall we?
Not so fast. So just in case you didn't hear Aldalfo, I'll try to make it very clear Aldalfo. The lovely ladies always cheer Aldalfo. And I repeat myself, I am Aldalfo.
Understood.
I can sing it high, Aldalfo. I can sing it low, Aldalfo. Sing it very fast. I can sing it very slowly. I do it now, but it will take hours. None of us here can remember my name.
I'll give it a shot.
Who's the fellow that you see?
Aldalfo.
And how should you refer to me?
Aldalfo.
And who is it that'll always be?
Aldalfo.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Aldalfo.
Now let me spell it out for you. And for all of you lovely ladies who didn't hear for some reason, because maybe you're in the back or you just got back from the bathroom, I don't know. It goes I
Now, don't you worry, madam. I'm getting married today, so I have to wear a blindfold.
A blindfold?
I'm sorry, who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me! I mean, Mimi! Mimi from France.
This scene couldn't be any more ridiculous.
So, you are marrying Janet Van de Graaff, no?
Oui.
I hear she is very beautiful.
Oui, oui.
And glamorous.
Oui, oui, oui.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
Say, I'm having trouble placing your accent. What part of France are you from?
The middle part, where they make the toast. So, you were telling me about how you say in English, fiancé?
That's right.
So then tell me, when was the moment you knew she was the one for you?
Well, it's a funny story, really. We were standing on the Lido deck of the E de France.
Yes?
I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
And then I looked into her eyes, into her big, glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell. Then you fell?
Yep, right on my keister. And I said, well, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
That's what she said. And that's when I knew it must be love.
Well, then you said?
Well, then I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm the torn snake, the three-legged chick, the hem that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so how be I happen to you?
Well, then what happened?
Then she joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. You're an accident waiting to happen.
That's right.
A catastrophe destined to be.
That's me. I'm the rags in the cellar.
A broken umbrella, a branch hanging loose from a tree. I can see myself jumping and clapping for a man who lives dangerously. You're an accident waiting to happen, so hurry and happen to me. Well, then what happened?
Then we kissed.
You're an accident waiting to happen, so hurry and happen to me. Wait! You kissed a strange French girl on your wedding day!
Oh no! What have I done? Wait!
Well, it seems that the big French accent and the blindfold led to a massive misunderstanding. Oh, will it overcome the end? Of course it will, it's a musical. Everything always works out in musicals. In the real world, nothing ever works out, and the only people who burst into song are the hopelessly deranged.
Mr. Feldzig!
Where is that flaming foreigner?
Mr. Feldzig!
How long can it take to seduce one bride?
Mr. Feldzig, you don't need Janet no more. I've been working on the mind-reading act. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible. Now, think of something.
Oh, I'm thinking of something, all right. with your own mind, you idiot.
Oh, no wonder it was so easy.
Mr. Felsing.
It would seem the wedding is proceeding according to schedule.
Now, I think it's time you received your just desserts. What do you think, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Felsing?
All right. How about the Toledo Surprise?
An inspired choice.
Toledo Surprise? Never heard of that.
No, you haven't. Those who have heard it are generally never heard from again.
Say, we'll share the recipe with you.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow. Then you got your Toledo Surprise.
Could you run that by me again?
Oh, it's a very simple recipe, Mr. Felsey.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow. Then you got your Toledo Surprise. Say, why don't we give him a little taste?
All right, hold it. What style? What grace? What rhythm? Open your fists. Now shake 'em. Now give me that recipe one more time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Go!
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up, nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo Surprise.
Now sell it.
Get the peach, fill the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's the taste for Toledo Surprise. First you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, it tries to rise. Don't let it, it's a snap. Try your oats, whip your whites, split your yolks. Then you got Toledo Surprise.
You more than that.
Honest?
Keep it up. I'll go work on the contract.
Hey!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh, what's going on here?
Hey, I'm putting together a new act.
Toledo Surprise!
You mean you're putting gangsters in the show and you won't put me in it? They're not even in the union.
Hey, you're all wrong. New act, it's for you. And these boys go backup dancers.
Backup dances? Holy cats! Toledo, my Toledo. Yes, Toledo, sugary yum yum. Surprise! Sweet dreams, you watch the tuxedo, Toledo surprise.
Wait, Adolfo, he has an announcement to make. Wedding is off. Lights and look at mine. Adolfo has made love to the bride. That is not the bride, you idiot. That is the chaperone. What? The wedding is on.
The wedding is off.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi. She's very beautiful.
Oh, Janet, I couldn't help it. She was just like you, only French. Oh, Janet.
Sweet mother of pearl.
Underling,
Yes, madam?
what is all this commotion about?
The wedding.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up. Then you sweet it up. Boy, you beat it up. It tries to rise. The wedding. Toledo Surprise.
Surprise? Wait till it's ready. Surprise?
Wait till it's ready.
so infectious.
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.